Hello, everybody, and welcome to Expo Lucha Virtual. We're so excited to be spending this time with you today. My name is Anita Castellar. I'm going to be hosting this mini segment of Expo Lucha and past, present, and future. We're going to talk everything about Expo Lucha and Lucha Libre. Founding father, Ruben Zamora, welcome to the panel. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Good.
So, big part of the whole Expo Lucha reveal is, who are you guys? Yeah, like, what are your roles? Ruben, you're the founding father. You are, founder CEO of Mass Republic, which is a parent company for Expo Lucha. And then Kevin, you are the president and COO for Mass Republic as well. The two of you are the dynamic duo behind everything. But what about Expo Lucha in general? Give us a little bit of history. How did it come to be? Why are we here today having a virtual event?
What I wanted to do with the Expo started back when I was a kid. The experience that I had going to the Olympic Auditorium with my dad in Los Angeles. And I've told the story before. We sat like in the second row or third row, right where the wrestlers came out. And I was able to see Tinieblas and Canek and be able to touch them when they came out to the ring and see their shiny capes. And, you could smell that cinnamon thing that they put on their bodies to kind of warm up their bodies. So as a kid, I was able to touch these heroes and superheroes of mine, because I said before, I wasn't into Batman or Spider-Man. To me, it was the Lucha Libre luchadors. So being able to see them in real life and being able to touch them and, kind of smell them. And then fast forward, when I got to move to San Diego, I was going to the Auditorio de Tijuana with my uncle. And same thing, you're right up close with the wrestlers. You can touch them. You can feel the tape that, surrounds their wrists. And it's just the whole ambiance of being right there with them. So those experiences as a kid, when I had, growing up, I always was searching for those type of experiences and whatever I did. And it wasn't when I got back into Lucha Libre in college. And, once I hooked up with Kevin, we would go to these expos in Mexico City. And it reminded me of when I was a kid. I had these experiences because all the wrestlers were there and you can walk right up to their table, shake their hand, buy their products. So the core, the root of what Expo Lucha is trying to provide these experiences and these memories for, kids like I was, back in the late 70s. And even now when I was going to these expos. So at the root of it is just being able to provide this unique experience that hopefully some kid, 40 years later, like I still remember those experiences, will be able to think back and say, man, that was really cool. I was able to be there and touch them and, shake their hand and talk to them. So at the root of what we're doing with the expo are those experiences that I shared. And I'm sure Kevin will go into some of his experiences. But
Kevin, what about you? What does Expo Lucha mean to you?
Well, so I think first off, I echoed Ruben's sentiment in terms of once I went to Mexico City and I was able to participate in these Lucha Libre La Experiencia conventions. It was the first time I went, this is like a Comic-Con of Lucha Libre. All the promotions were there, represented. You can go to the different vendors, and it wasn't just the talent. There was vendors selling art and crafts, and it was a really cool experience. And so when Ruben said, I've always wanted to bring this to the United States, that was years before we actually did it. But it was always a great idea, I thought, in the back of my mind. And then a few years ago, when he said, okay, it's time, let's finally do this. For the most part in the day-to-day of Mass Republic, I kind of oversee our licensing and our IP entertainment development. And Ruben's always very supportive of my crazy ideas in directions I want to take the company in. So it sounded like a good thing to do and back his idea there. And I think that, there's so many different parts of what Expo Lucha Live is about. Obviously, today we're going to try to present some of that virtually. But it is about, first off, we aren't going to do an Expo Lucha event that isn't representative truly of real, authentic Lucha Libre. So it's not going to ever be a bunch of local wrestlers and one or two luchadors on top of the show. It is going to be a place you can come and meet legends and all-stars and today's, most popular luchadors and luchadoras all in one place.
Right.
On top of that, you're going to get the live wrestling part of it, which is not your typical Lucha Libre show, because we're bringing in talent from across the different Lucha Libre promotions, across the different promotions throughout the United States that wrestle a Lucha Libre style. And so you're getting these dream matches, and you're getting these matches you're only going to see at a Expo Lucha event. And again, you'll experience some of that today throughout our program. But then on top of that, we really wanted to bring those Comic-Con or convention-like elements to Expo Lucha, because you can go to a lot of Lucha shows these days and, maybe stick around after and get an autograph, but you're not somewhere where you're seeing the reveal of officially licensed merchandise.
Right.
You're not somewhere where there's all these great vendors who have, products that are related to Lucha Libre and Lucha culture. Like we have a vendor that we've been really lucky to have with us the last few years who does these custom bars of soap and luchador character soap, things like that. And so being able to bring together this entire unique experience that, we always say, it's the largest Lucha Libre convention and the only one held outside of Mexico City. Right. And it really is true. There's no other experience like Expo Lucha. And so we're really excited to, in 2021, get back to being able to do it live and having those experiences.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate that this year, we had to go virtual, right? But it's really great that we were able to at least, get together virtually, get some great matches, great content. We're looking really forward to sharing all of that with everyone. We have some licensing announcements. We've got some really great content as far as matches. Why don't you guys go into some of the other points there?
I've always said, since we started doing the expos, I'll put up our lineup and our matches up against anybody out there. So even now, I'll put our lineup up that we had in Expo Lucha 1 in Vegas, our lineup, the matches we had in San Diego, up against anything that's out there. So for unique and incredible matchups with some of the greatest talent in the world, we definitely deliver. And it's not just one or two matches in the wrestler fair. There are no fillers here. It's all thrillers. No fillers. It's from, I think, one of our dark matches, just to give you a hint, one of our dark matches was, what was it, Kevin, that we had in San Diego? It was like Rey Horus, Drago, Aerostar, and Septimo Dragon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 4 killers of the ring. And that was our dark match. That was our free match. Hey, let's just warm up the crowd. And from there, it's just climbs up. So
it's really special.
Yeah, Kevin will be able to get into some of the details of what the matches you'll see right now. But I'm telling you, our lineups, nobody comes.
Matches you are going to see streaming today include Conan managing the Lucha Brothers, Penta, 0M, and Rey Fenix against Selena de la Renta managing the team of Teddy Hart and Jack Evans. But that's not the only time you're going to see the Lucha Brothers today, because they are going to team with Mr. Aguila, who will team once again for the first time in nearly 20 years with former WWE manager Lita, Amy Dumas, who will be in their corner as they take on Brian Cage, Jack Evans, and TJ Perkins. Also, an incredible 4-way, one of the most technical spectaculars we've ever had in the history of Expo Lucha. Rey Horus, Flamita, TJ Perkins, and Juventud Guerrera in a 4-way war, plus trios action including Flamita, as Flamita, Laredo Kid, and Puma King tangle with 3 of SoCal's best in Adrian Quest, Jake Atlas, and Douglas James. Plus, in more trios action, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, and Taurus take on Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Brian Pillman Jr., at the time MLW's Hart Foundation. And if you stick around till later, you are going to get to see one of the most requested matches in the history of Expo Lucha, the Lucha Society X Gauntlet Rumble match, where more than a dozen wrestlers entered the ring rumble style for an elimination gauntlet match that featured the likes of Ultimo Panda, Mr. Iguana, Disco Inferno, a trio of minis, Laredo Kid, Adrian Quest, Human Tornado, Black Taurus, and many more. That's all coming up today at Expo Lucha.
But let's get into something that's really unique and special, like we were talking about as far as community and having some of those con effects, right, which are a little bit different than other events that you may have attended.
So we do have our cosplay contest where our panel of luchadors are going to judge just from photos this time some of the best and most creative looks that have been submitted of fans in their lucha libre cosplay. We also have a custom figure contest because while we are beyond excited about our boss fight figures that are coming out, and we've got a great presentation later today from Eric Arana of Boss Fight, updating everybody on the status of the current figures that are coming out, plus the reveal of some figures that we have not announced yet, so stay tuned for that. But there's a whole world of custom Lucha Libre figure creators and designers. And these aren't child's play. These are works of art, like
they're pretty good
quality level works of art. And there's not really ever been in the wrestling and Lucha Libre space kind of a public contest of, who are the best designers out there. And we thought it was really cool to let the luchadors themselves judge that, because really they are the subjects of these figures. There are, like I said, there are some amazing artists out there. I don't even know how they get such fine detail into such figures. So we look forward to kind of showing you guys some of those works today and revealing who won the contest. And then on top of that, we've decided to do a mask design contest. And this one's really fun because it's anybody of any age level, can enter. It is designed what your lucha mask would look like if you were going to have a professional lucha mask made. And the winner is actually going to get their concept developed and designed into an actual mask by a real Lucha Libre mask maker.
Wow, how much fun is that?
Yes. So if you're watching this now, it's too late to enter the Expo versions of these contests. But know that as we move forward and bring Expo Lucha hopefully to a city near you, these are the types of contests that will continue and that you can participate in at Expo Lucha events.
And, really just a shout out to our sponsors as well for, supporting the event and supporting past events and even more so in the future where, we hope to grow the event even further. Like you said, take this event straight to the fans, bring them to a city near you. So again, thank you for all the sponsorship opportunities, you guys. We really appreciate you guys supporting the contests and supporting the fans. So now that we talk about the future, right, we're talking about 2021, but what about the rest of the future, 2021 and beyond? So what are some hopes and aspirations, that you're wanting to enhance in Expo Lucha? Ruben, do you have some ideas on that?
So, these experiences that people are getting with the Expo, it's incredible. So we want to bring this to as many cities as we can. And look, there's a lot of room on the bus. So this is open to everybody.
As many vendors as we can, right? So that we can bring some more people into that.
Yeah, and we have some incredible vendors that will repeat. And I think it's just, we want to bring it to as many people as we can. And for those that we don't hit your city, we want them to be able to come to us. And look, it's a great experience for the whole family. But what I want to see for 2021 and beyond is just be able to just take this all over. Wherever there's friends and fans of Lucha Libre that want a unique experience and a unique convention with our vendors, with our sponsors, with our wrestlers, we want to go to you.
So, but tickets are back on sale, right? For Philadelphia for June 2021?
Yep. As of this weekend right now. So most of the people that bought tickets before have kept those tickets. There's very limited VIP tickets left. A few were released because, coronavirus and people's plans changing. So there are a few VIP tickets if people go, but the general admission tickets are now open. If you want to attend, whether it's just the convention part or the wrestling or all of it combined, head over to our site, expolucha.com, and jump in. Now, there's a big difference with doing the show in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena than when we did it in Las Vegas or when we did it in San Diego, and where we're going to take it to the future. Because we are bringing Expo Lucha to the 2300 Arena because of its historical significance, it is a very small building.
Yeah.
We are going to be able to put less than 1,000 people in there, especially as we await, future coronavirus guidelines.
Yeah.
So I am extremely confident that this is actually going to sell out in advance. So if you guys are ready to make plans to attend and join us, then head over to expolucha.com and grab those tickets because I don't expect any to be left come next year.
With that, we're coming to a close. We cannot wait to share the rest of the programming with you guys. Any last words?
Stay tuned to everything that we have coming up next year for 2021. We're hoping to hit more than a few cities. So check it out. Hope you enjoy this broadcast today.